What is up? Good morning. Morning, good morning. Chart out a couple things here. We have a little overnight seller that we're getting ready to run into. Let's go find him real quick. Let me see. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. Here's your overnight seller. I'll mark the pre-market highs and lows. Highs are right here. Lows are right here. Actually, highs overnight. Yeah. Yep. Well, technically those are. Technically these are. Still running into that seller. Okay. Perfect. Here we are here. A little bit of a break. If we get some volume, pick it up. We're going to take this long. Get my other screen going here. The green isn't too much on these glasses. I don't really need them, but they are nice to have. All right. Okay. Looks like the market's trying to take out these highs up here and print new highs, which would be great for everybody. Let's see here. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, we're in the game, baby. All right. So let's see if the market can take out the seller here. Let's take these off. See the market take the seller out. This is pretty much your only seller, right? And all-time highs again. So continue. Should be a lot of breakouts on the horizon with different stocks. A lot of breakout plays, a lot of good options plays. The nice thing about breakout plays and all-time highs is that typically IVs aren't priced in because they're at all-time highs unless there's like earnings or something. So really you can get some good deals out there. I haven't really messed with that side of the options market yet. I do trade options often. All right, looks like we're taking out the seller here. Volume's ticking up. Not enough, but that is, we pretty much just took out the seller completely. Double check here. Yep, pretty much. That is what happened. So mark out some buyers real quick. garbage there. Yeah, all that's garbage. Got a little bit of some overlap down here. That might be a good buy down there later on. So right now I'm just kind of keeping an eye on where the buyers were sitting beforehand. Surprised he didn't take out everything there on. A little dip in the market right now off those pre-market highs. Should retest those pre-market highs, and we're going to see how we move from there. We could have a bounce continuation, or we could have a fallback to range trap. Come up, bounce, continue. We could have a bounce, and I think ICT you would call it manipulation, and this you would just call it a bull trap. So bulls get trapped at the start of new highs, dealing with the seller up here. There isn't any. Well, let me just double check 15-minute real quick. Yeah, so we do have this right here is still a 15-minute seller. And then, yeah, that's doubled up here. This right here. So all of this is selling on a 15-minute. 5-minute got taken out, but 15 minutes still present. So still have that seller trying to distribute, basically. Okay. So the algo, what the algo is doing right now, the algo is letting the volume come in and is selling into it slowly. Now, why does it matter on a 15-minute as opposed to a 5-minute? Well, they do play different roles. We get a little bit different perspective. You get bigger picture. And really, since this the minute 24 left, where this sits is where the sellers are actually defending. So if it goes below this is very bearish. If it comes up below this is, I'd say, neutral. Still could have a lot of downside, and obviously we close above that towards the back end. This could be very bullish, but we would need to find new buyers. The algo is still going to be sitting there for all that we know until they completely disappear. So that reminds me, I change the colors on these. Let's just do that real quick. All right, so let's see now. As you can see, the seller's starting to get really overtaken on the 15-minute as well. Let me just double check the 5-minute. See if we go green, I might have to get into a position here. All right, this player is gone. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong one. That was the wrong one, sorry. This player is gone right here. This player is gone, and this guy is holding on by a thread. So, still need to break him. All right, we are. Let's see how the market does today. It's gonna look a little bit messy. I'm gonna try and clean it up a little bit, but not to worry. You're gonna be okay. Color, Q. All right, there we go. Try to make it as clean as we can. Considering messy chart will confuse many people. All right. Let's have a little bit of look here. Obviously, we're going to be above VWAP. Volume profiles are print. Volume profile. We are printing new highs, so this is all going to be fresh. Looks very bullish though. All right. Yeah, hope everybody had a good weekend. I'm in the middle of a move. Oof, I hate moving. It's the worst. That's why everything's been. I haven't been streaming 5 days a week, and like I should be because everything's getting packed in boxes around me. So, but it's all right. Should be a pretty good move. I think I'm gonna win all 3 of my fantasy games again, which is crazy. That'd be very exciting. There we go. All right. We're ready, baby. So a little breakout here. Little 3 bar. Should be able to at least get this 222. Should be at least able to get 10 points off this. Up to right here about. I could play that. I'm going to trade these guys a little bit different today, so. Yeah. I'll play that with these guys off copy trading, actually. Where is our copy trading? There we go. Let's clear that. All right. Let's see here. Algo's still working. Could turn into a 4 bar. Algo is still working. We're going to put a tight stop on this. Let's see here. Which one do I want? I don't want that one. I want this one. Put a tight stop.
Order filled.
Get a little continuation up. 12 points. I'm going to look for about 12 points actually. And a 1-to-1 continuation. See if we could push through this seller all the way here. a little bit of patience. The seller's still active, selling into these buyers pretty heavy. See if they can take it out. Looks really bullish right now, for sure. Very bullish play. Get my charger going here. See if we get that push up. Just take a little 12 points. Nothing crazy. Could go a lot higher. Technically, I could standard deviate it out, but we'll just take the scalp.
Order filled.
There we go. Got the little scalp there. Nothing crazy. Normally, I wouldn't take that on my regular strategy, but yeah, that's what we're dealing with. Hold on, I'll be right back. That's right. There's no plug there. Forgetting. I have so many things plugged in. It's crazy. Oh, all right, we did it. Oh man, it's the hardest work I'm gonna do all morning. That's crazy. So you still see on the 15-minute, we're not done with the selling algo yet. Would not be surprised if this thing flushes down and us actually kind of retrace and test these buyers down here. Well, technically, this is a buyer all the way up to here. But we'll see. It depends on where this 5-minute lands. That's what's going to be the key for us. All right, let me turn this off. A little more clean. Yeah, so these are our players for the day. On the buy side, these are our imbalances. See if we get any more action today. We should. I'm assuming we will, especially if we break out new highs. Get a nice pump. 50 seconds left. They're going to try and shove it down below this algo. This algo is still active here. You can see it ever since it kind of went above this, they started selling off into it. Comes up, there's the algo's selling off into it. Comes up, the algo's selling off into it. So once the seller's satisfied, we break out. But if we can't find new buyers, or if they're satisfied, then we actually start to retrace a bit. So, whew. Yes. Okay. All right, so we could assume that they're gone. New seller might come in, but 15-minute. Oh wait, we still have 5 minutes. Man, what am I doing? Let's see here. All right, still have 5 minutes. Really, that's gonna tell us where the top of this green is too. Could take a little check here on the 15-minute. I don't really feel like it. I feel like buying down here with regular. This whole thing could get ran through with how big it is and get bricked quick. there's your test of the that's right here. Buying algo should step in here too, but the idea is if they're still there, they're gonna punch in right here at the top. We're dealing with the initial balance. We're in the first hour of the day, so this might have been a bunch of buy orders getting filled over from overnight, from over the weekend, and now they might have stopped, and real sentiment starts to kick in a little bit. We are gonna bring this down because we don't know where the top is yet. So this is still active. We got a slight trend here, pretty wide. This is too messy for this chart, though. I'm gonna remove that. A little bit lower. We're gonna move wherever this wick goes. It can go all the way down here. We're gonna move it all the way down there on this 15 minutes. So this is the only real buyer so far that that we know exactly where they are. We don't know exactly where the top of the screen is yet. Really just depends on this candle. (1 minute 50 left. Yeah, none of this was none of these three were real buying yet. It was not a new buyer trying to take up the market. So we could see this rotate all the way down to here where this real buyer is on the morning. I'm yawning so much. I'm gonna hold them in. Back above pre-market highs. Dancing around it a little bit. Kind of tested that top up there. Yeah. That is that. So it's having a little bit of patience here. We're creating a little bit of a range. Finding out where the top of our buyers are. They started to step in right here. Just a little bit. I mean, this is still pretty neutral overall, but we're above pre-market highs. We bounced off this. This is going to be bullish until we close below that pre-market high and start to come back into this range. That's when we could turn bearish. But here's your players now. So this is your actual player. And let's see what happens here with this next bar. Decent volume coming off this red. We could assume that was a decent amount of absorption and new sellers stepping in. Again, this algo is still dancing here. Yeah. So yeah, that FOMC last week was kind of interesting. I didn't really talk about it that much. Only a quarter point, but they're pricing in another point over the next couple of meetings, or I'm sorry, over the next year. Really interesting. I've been watching the housing market a lot lately because I feel like the housing market is just too high for people to live in. So once the housing market starts going, it's really interesting what could happen. I mean, I didn't know that you could lose your house if you're owing in margin on the stock market. They can come after your house and everything. That was really fascinating to me. So, just something to be considered with thinking October coming up. That's when the payment, not what was it called, the payment forgiveness. I'll have to look it up. Let me just look it up real quick. That was when people could tack on their payments for rent onto the back of their payment plan. They could do that for years. And what they did is they just stacked a bunch of cash and then they kept buying new homes, which is crazy. Let me see here. What was the COVID housing payment plan where they put the payment on the back of the loan? Okay, it was the mortgage relief options that, yeah. So it was the deferral or partial claim. Oh, forbearance. That's right. Forbearance. So, yeah, yeah. You could either choose to do a lump sum at the end or you just resumed normal. So the thing is there's a lot of people who did that, who stacked up and trying to get multiple homes, which they did. Um, but now with them having to pay everything and the housing market starting to cool off a little bit, some of these guys can't afford it. I mean, you got houses, people that don't have the same amount of jobs. The jobs market's crazy right now. You have the housing market, which is kind of stagnant at the moment. People are still buying though, but it's cooled off. It's becoming a seller's market now. Sorry, it's becoming a buyer's market. So buyers get to kind of um, choose what they want to buy. So I do think it'll come down probably at least 20%. I'm assuming everything needs to come down at least 20%. 30% is what I really think before we start to turn around a little bit, but everything's been kind of ridiculous. Yeah, so that's that. What are these notifications? Okay, so you see the algo still here. It's kind of playing between these two players. The market's trying to figure out which way it wants to go. And this is going to play out a lot. I mean, we're going to figure out what we're going to be doing here. See if we can break trend. Still, I would say bulls are in control so far. Yeah, that is where we're at. So let's check the 15-minute. Too much time. It's left 10 minutes. Yeah, so even if it flies way high, the seller's still here unless it closes below it. So that's those are some main keys. We're gonna keep an eye on that volume. So we might have to take a little position here. I'm gonna take that on both counts. Let me see. I should try like trade, copy, trade. I don't care which one's the lead. All right, let's get back to the charts here. Do not care which one is leader. nice strong volume. If we get nice strong volume, we get some continuation. Be looking at some calls. Because it could happen very quickly. Let me just see what the market's saying. Yeah, market's very quiet with pricing this morning, so go buy a call. Grab a couple of these. Let's see, that volume should be ticking up. Yeah, it's looking really good. We should, no matter what, have the volume here. Sellers starting to come in a little bit. Keep an eye here. So yeah, I could get it for 50 right now. It'd be a little early on the options. I'm just going to pick them up on the options. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I'm going to count here. There we go. Amazing, just doing something left-handed. Horrible. Let's see if we can get a fill. This is a little preemptive in options. Okay. Wow, 600 call. That's going to be a big psychological number. I didn't really think about that. We're at 599 right now. Break 600, that'd be crazy. Who knows if that'll happen. All right, I'm keeping an eye on these calls. I got my finger on the trigger on the sell. Just in case things go south. Should probably have my phone. Yeah, I'll just do this on my phone, actually. Why? I don't think they have the market sell on I don't think they have the market sell on the desktop version, but on the app they have the market sell. I think it's interesting. Volume should be high enough now. If not, it will be very close. We paid 50 bucks each for our options. 50 bucks each. Let's see if we can actually get a little bit of extension here. So double check on volume. Yeah, volume's going to be high enough. Not worried about that. Worried about the height of this candle, and I'm worried about, that's pretty much it, actually. We're copy trade, see if we get a couple little points here out of the market. Nice little continuation. $900's that psychological level.
Order filled.
We get in here. Got a little bit of slippage in our favor. See where we're going to be landing at here. 2921.75. All right. We're in. We're going to put a little 3-point stop on here. All right. So I think the seller, is the seller still here? Yeah, so the seller's still here technically, but there is a new aggressor on the 5-minute. So this is your new aggressor looking to take out this seller here. We'll see if that actually comes true. Seller's still trying to hold on. We got 3 minutes left, and then if this guy gets close above, he's gone. Previous highs are right above them. 88 previous highs, overnight highs, and then our high day is at 696. Let's see where we land here. It's gonna be breakout city here really soon. This keeps up on a lot of different stocks. They're already looking primed. Yeah, let's see if we get a little bit of continuation here. Starting to flip. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left. Again, the seller, seller is still here. Sure, I don't. There we go. Seller is still here, but looks like he's going to be getting taken out. These new highs were up about 20% on our options. Might hold on to those for a little while. I'll probably sell one at this take profit on my options and hold on to one. See if we get a runner. Market's been ripping crazy. Here we go, starting to come up a little bit. Yeah, we might be playing longs all day. Really close to that 600 price here on the NQ. On the on the Qs, we're sitting at 599.75.8. So 20 cents off that 600. We might get a lot of sellers there. It's possible. That psych level, we could see a little drop down fake. And then that 25,000, which is up here, that's probably going to be another massive psychological level. So if we do float up there today, I could expect a lot of, I'll even mark it, a lot of psychological resistance here. Make this a little bit thicker. Yeah. All right, we're up about 40% on those options. That's why I said the good pricing is really good. When you're talking all-time highs, market makers can't really price in because they just don't know unless there's a major catalyst. So all-time highs, typically people are making money on calls for sure, especially in squeeze. It's insane gains with squeezes. People just don't know how to price them. It's brand new, so I shouldn't say that they don't know how to price them. I think with just price action is a little bit easier for us to see. This is all new buying, by the way. That's a new buyer as well. And this guy's gone. So the seller's gone, which is kind of obvious. But we'll see. We'll see if we get some continuation. Up about 40% on those contracts. This is all new buyer here. All a new buyer here. Wherever this lands, really, it's right here until this candle finishes. So right at that 2,900 here. I still don't think the 2,900 is going to be the psych level. I really do think 25,000 is going to be the number people are going to be like, all right, I'm going to take profit at 25,000. A bunch of Russian traders. So again, we took this on both accounts. If we do end up rotating down for some reason at the end of the day, I'm probably going to take a long here. I might take a first test long here, the 15-minute maybe, but this is a new 5, so I would like to see these guys kind of defend their position first. So that would be something I would like to see. All right, that could possibly be our low here. Nope. I'm going to keep moving it until it comes down, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just doing it because it's something to do. It's something to do. Up 20% on those contracts instead of 40. Getting that little retracement. Would like to see buyers step in. Yeah. Just said, wait now. Be patient. That's what we're going to do. Higher lows, higher highs. Kind of in this channel here. This is really rough, but yeah, you're basically, this is your channel. It's kind of floating up in it. I would draw my trend like this right here. So this would be my actual trend. I take a really conservative approach to trend lines, but the channel players, that is your channel. We see wires starting to step in a little bit here. Shorts trying to slow that momentum down. Market makers trying to curb that momentum a little bit. But this isn't real selling yet. Up about 25% on these options. 45 seconds left in this candle. Nothing much to do here. This is all healthy pullbacks here. We get little breaks like this. It's easier for us to actually get into entries. I don't like buying up on this top end here. So a nice, slow, stair-steppy day with a big finish, hopefully up into this 25,000, then a slab down. I might short that 25,000 on my other account just to play the psychological game. If we get there early enough. We're about 40 points above pre-market highs. It's really healthy. Looking really healthy. Yeah. All right, broke new highs. This could technically have been a 3 bar play, but I'm not going to take it. I already took one of those. This is a strong trend though, strong uptrend. We're at about 54% of those contracts. I'm going to get ready to sell one of them at our take profit. So market order one. Get ready to market one. Just be patient. Let it do its thing. We haven't had a really strong trend day in a minute. That's just been pumping all day. So I hope we can get a little bit of that action. Again, market makers want to slow down this momentum. So they're going to be accumulating along with real buyers, real retail, and bigger firms buying. And they're just looking to slow down that momentum a little bit. I mean, you also have people taking profits, all-time highs and stuff, but really these algos are what's driving the markets. So they definitely want to just curb that momentum, right? Because they lose a lot of money on options if they just let it run crazy. So with lower volume days, we should expect just a healthy trend. We've been dealing with a lot of baloney over before FOMC. The last 2 weeks was just really not looking great. Fed was buying a lot of its own bonds. It was kind of propping up the market. So we're getting it's kind of like surfing in a cross swell. It's just, you can't really get into anything. And when you do, you end up just getting bit. So it was really, really tough waters to trade in. I know a lot of people were getting owned. I was just pretty much break even for that whole thing. So made money and then I lose money and then I make money, I lose money, I make money, I lose money. It was basically 2 weeks of break even. I think I made like $50 2 weeks ago and I made like 75 last week. Like, all right. So we're due for a couple $1,000 a week, a few $1,000 a week. So hopefully this is the week. We did well on options, surprisingly. That is one thing that I'd say that we did really well with. I followed these principles with options and in my other account. So it's something to be considered. All right, so with this little trend here, I know it's a tiny one, but market makers are trying to curb the momentum a bit. Now, if they lose momentum, they get squeezed. Not only do they get squeezed, but the momentum is shifting. So um, that's just a complicated way of saying a trend break, but the idea is that we can start to take another position if they've tried to defend and then they get squeezed. If it just keeps going up and we print new highs, new highs, new highs, it's really tough to know if these real buyers can actually defend that position. So having healthy pullbacks like this helps us to get into a little bit better positions, knowing we can have more confidence in our trades. So that's why we're hanging in and we feel just fine with this healthy pullbacks and strong continuations. See what we're at with our options here. We are close to 100%. We're at about 80%. Should get close to 100% with this. I'm going to take a one right at the take profit up here at that 20s level. I remember I bought them for $50. They're worth about 90 right now, 88. Almost 100%. I'm gonna sell one of them. I'm gonna hold on to the other one and see if we get, if it's an all-day runner, we can get 300-400% out of this. I probably will sell it before 25,000 though. I just don't see 25,000. I see 25,000 becoming a huge psychological battle, you know. Being patient here. Being patient here. Options are at $84, so roughly roughly like 78%. I actually think 36, 72, 72%. Yeah, now we're at 70, 72. Yeah, getting close. Be nice to hit a little TP on stream. For some reason, all my trades have been happening off stream, so later in the day. Check the volume here. Keep an eye out. Yeah, we're probably gonna have to take another long here. About 85% on those contracts. I'm gonna take one off at the top of this range right up here. So as soon as we hit this TP, I'm gonna take one off. We've got a minute 12 left. I'm gonna have to add more to my position here. So I have to move this take profit out of the way if we don't touch it first.
Order
All
filled.
right, there we go. I'm gonna take that off. We sold that for 95, so that was close to 100% gain. And then I'm gonna need to get into another trade here, so let's take another one.
Order filled.
All right, we got a perfect fill there. All right, and you have a new buyer, so should see this continue up. Still holding on to one more contract. And I'm probably just gonna let that one ride. Up 90% on it. Yeah, that's nice. All right, hit one trade in the morning. Probably get another one, hopefully. Might take a little bit of time because we're going to be at the top of the channel. So we might come up a little bit, extend down, maybe float, maybe test these buyers, and then come back up. We might be in this trade for a minute, or I could just blast up and take it. But really, I do want to take a little bit of a short at this 20. I might even take it like at here. I'll probably take this small position. Maybe I'll 80, ADC into it. So I might take one like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. DCA, not ADC. DCA, dollar cost averaging. Again, just like everything else, this gets moved with wherever it lands. So, not too worried about that. Yeah, that is where we're standing right now. I have a lot of articles to catch up on. I'm supposed to be writing articles for the for Trading View. I've not been able to get the time to do it. Oh yeah. We'd go for a little bit of cup of coffee, but we're getting some action this morning. So last few weeks I've just been sitting on my hands doing nothing. It's actually nice. All right. So we're at 100% on those options. Well, on the option, I'm just holding on to one of them. 100% on the option, which is cool. I might sell the other one at this next TP. We'll see. I mean, with today's context, I might just hold on to the thing until we hit 25K. We still got a long way to go. Probably could get another couple 100% out of it. Are we only up? What are we up on the day? So the NQ is only up 1/4%. So we can get a lot bigger here. Oh, Google just surpassed Apple's revenue. Very fascinating. That's why Google's has been running. Yeah, so the Dow's still down, struggling to go green. Small caps are still stagnant. Tesla's just pumping, man. Tesla's been strong. Palantir strong. A lot of good energy. A lot of these stocks. We're about 120% on these options now. We get this second TP, I'll probably be done for the day. Would like to see a little reaction at 25K, but that's probably good. Probably hang it up. I'll still be trading, but that'd be good enough. Otherwise, just continue on and on. I mean, I would stream all day, but it's good enough for the stream. See what time it is. Probably cut it at 8. That should be good. Yeah, so sitting in this contract still, holding on the markets, being patient. We should get this TP. This should be pretty easy. I would be really shocked if it didn't even happen in the next hour. But yeah, we'll just hang it up there, slowing down a little bit. And let me, goodness, figure out where this app is. All right, we'll cut it here. Hope you guys have a good day. You guys follow me on X. I post my recaps, Trading View, the Cafe Trader. You guys see my articles that publish. Check it out. So, well, hopefully this trade will finish